Hello, welcome to Sailing with Hank. In this episode, we're going to talk about sailing in one of my favorite places on the planet. That's San Diego, California, in the United States of America. It's on the west coast of California, way down by the Mexico border. And as you can see, California is pretty much all coastline down the west coast of the United States, and it is 840 miles of coastline. That's a long ways. And if you think about it, it's 504 miles from San Diego to San Francisco. That's a very large stretch of area. So that's a large stretch of area and a lot of different climates. San Francisco, it's really far north. It's windy and cold most of the year. And, there's a large stretch of coastline. You get further and further, finally down to LA, Los Angeles, and eventually down to San Diego, which is right on the Mexican border. So if you could imagine, it's a lot warmer, very ideal climate down in San Diego. And once you get into San Diego, it's also a fairly large area. To the north of everything is La Jolla, beautiful community. And then you start getting down into the beaches. And one of the first beaches you'll come to up there is Mission Beach. And Mission Beach is in the area of Mission Bay. And that's one of the main boating areas of San Diego. It's a little part on the north side of town. And it's a very large bay, mainly for smaller sailboats to come in. And a lot of power boats come in there. People inner tube. In the summer, it's just full of people water skiing and wakeboarding and swimming and kite surfing and, just anything you could do on the water, they're going to be doing there. SeaWorld is at that same area, and just some really nice bike paths, place to go around. So very nice area, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the video. And then down south, the main boating area of San Diego is the harbor itself. And the harbor is massive. You'll see there's a lot of Navy warships that come in and out, a lot of commercial fishing vessels that are coming in and out, aircraft carriers and Carnival cruise lines and ship containers. So it's a very busy port and quite large. And just a quick note, this is all for demonstration only. Don't use these for navigation. Go buy your own maps, people. So the first part of Mission Bay here is the Catamaran Hotel. That's way up at the top of Mission Bay. It's a really excellent spot. If you're in that area, they have a great little bar out in the back. They have live music a lot of days. They show movies on a big blow-up projector for families, and they have free beach chairs and stuff out on the beach of Mission Bay. So it's a really nice place to take a family. And you can also rent a boat there. That's through Action Sport Rental, and I'll talk a little bit more about them at the end of the video. But a great resource for renting a sailboat while you're in town. A couple of other areas of the bay, you have Fiesa Island, and if anyone knows what goes on at Fiesa Island, that's a big deal, put it down in the comments there. I'm sure a few of you have been there. I've actually rowed out to Fiesa Island a number of times for this big party that happens once a year. So let me know if you know what's going on at Fiesa Island there. And as we move down the coast, one thing to note out boating-wise is there's a kelp line that goes from Mission Bay all the way down to San Diego Harbor. And look, you are going to think, I could cut through there, I'll save a little time. Let me tell you, it is pretty much never a good idea unless you are intimately familiar with the area. Really stay away. Be very careful off the coastline. Some of the kelp goes for over a mile offshore. So you have to be really careful of your local knowledge and steer well clear. What I normally did is I went all the way out to the SD buoy, it's called. It's one that makes noise out there. And I would usually make my turn up north out of San Diego Harbor after I went all the way out to the SD buoy and then took a turn going up north. So as an overview, San Diego Harbor, it's just really massive. When you first come into the harbor, you're going to see a lot of traffic coming in and out. Over on your right side is Coronado Island. If you're lucky, you might see some Navy fighter jets taking off from the runway there. And as you round into the main part of the harbor, the first island you come to is Shelter Island, which has a massive amount of marinas. They're everywhere over there. A lot of dock space. You'll see a lot of sailboat masts sticking up over the top. The next island over is Harbor Island. Same thing, just lots and lots of sailboats and motorboats everywhere. So as you round the harbor, you'll start to see a good view of downtown, and all of a sudden you'll see the Coronado Bridge. It's a massive bridge going over the top. It's large enough that Navy carriers and very large Navy vessels are able to pass under it. And it was one of the older bridges. Funny enough, when it was originally built, they had to curve it a little bit to get the proper funds. It had to be a certain distance, so they put a curve into it just so they could get federal funds to match. So like I said earlier, there's two main islands where most of the marinas are in San Diego Harbor. The first one is Shelter Island. That's where I had my boat for years, and it's just fantastic. They have bus service right down to the island, and a lot going on, restaurants within an easy walk, and beautiful neighborhoods right outside of the marinas. And the first marina you come to when you first turn into Shelter Island is the Konakai. It's a really beautiful older hotel and marina, but really up class, wonderful dinners and brunches there, and a very nice bar overlooking. And if you have a mega yacht, that's a nice place to keep it. They have some spaces for larger yachts there, and overall, I would say a higher end clientele than some of the other marinas in the area. And so down at the other end of Shelter Island is maybe the most well-known marina in San Diego, and that's Humphrey's. And the reason Humphrey's is so famous is because they have a massive concert venue outside. And it faces the water, so if you have a boat there at the marina, you get to watch concerts for free all summer long. And it's, truly impressive names. I've seen Jimmy Buffett play there. I've seen Willie Nelson and friends play there, and some of the older acts, but still very well-known people are playing there. And in the summer, it's almost every day. It's just the most incredible thing. Yeah, Humphrey's is a well-run marina, and I have a mate with a boat that's over there, and he loves it. People have been very nice to him. The only downside, I would say, is there's so many people, big crowds, and every concert venue, people are trying to sneak into the marina, so it's a little bit overrun. In my opinion, the marina next door is by far the best marina in the area. So the Bay Club Hotel and Marina is right next to Humphrey's. As a matter of fact, it's so close, if you have a boat at the Bay Club, you could hear all the concerts for Humphrey's. And I had a boat there for a number of years. I love it. It's such a well-oiled machine there. They have really nice food and drinks up at the hotel bar. There's a pool there that you could use. Parking down underground. It's got a lot going for it. The wait list is kind of long, and especially like myself, I ended up getting a liveaboard slip there. You have to wait a long time for a slip to open up. But, I'd say go down, put your name on the list, and just wait it out. It's well worth the wait. Like I said, you get to hear the concerts all summer, and it's just a really, really convenient marina to go sailing in the harbor or even to go out in the ocean. I like to fish, so it was a little closer to getting out into the open water. So the next area in the harbor that has a lot of marinas is Harbor Island, and it has a lot of pluses as well. I've never kept a boat there, but in my sailing adventures, I've been in and out of Harbor Island a number of times. At one point, I worked for a company there, and they had some boats, so I did a bit of work out of Harbor Island. It is nice. It's right by the airport, so it's very convenient if you're coming in and out of town, if you live somewhere else. The two main marinas around that area are the Harbor Island Yacht Club and Safe Harbor Sunroad. They both have their pluses and minuses. The Yacht Club, I think you have to pay a membership to join, and it's probably a little more long-term. Safe Harbor Sunroad is a massive marina. They've got hot tubs and tennis courts and this and that and a little convenience store and all sorts of stuff. It's its own little universe there. It is very nice. I think it's economical, and the wait list shouldn't be too long to get a spot there. And as you work your way further into San Diego Harbor, you get to the downtown area. So once again, a lot of really nice marinas down in that downtown area. There's for sure some areas for some really large yachts down there. I think Larry Ellison has one of his boats that routinely is parked down by downtown. And one of the main areas there is the Marriott Marina, an area right around the Marriott. That has a giant marina. Same thing, the wait list is pretty long, but it is a very convenient place to keep your boat if you like downtown and you want to be around the downtown area. The Hilton also was revamped recently with a beautiful gardens and stuff out front. They have a marina there as well. So I'd say check out either one of those. There's probably quite a wait list to be there, but might not be a bad place to go dock even for a weekend. I believe they do give out slips for the weekend that you could rent. And Seaforth Boat Rentals works out of, I believe it's the Marriott right there. That's one of their docks. So if you're headed to San Diego and you'd like to rent a boat, there's a couple of companies I would recommend. The first is Action Sports Rentals, and just really great company. They have a lot of small sailboats like Catalina 22, even some Catalina 25s. They have things like stand-up paddleboards, kayaks, even have a wakeboard boat that'll come meet you at any of their locations and take you out with a qualified skipper. They'll take you wakeboarding there for an hour. So great company. They're at the Kona Kai and also at Paradise Point. And I'd give them a call. You could get online as well once they qualify you, which they'll kind of talk to you to make sure you know how to sail, and they will turn you loose on a sailboat there in Mission Bay. So highly recommend them. Reach out to those guys and get a small sailboat or a stand-up paddleboard next time you're in Mission Bay. And if you're interested in taking sailing lessons or advancing to a larger boat, Seaforth Boat Rentals is really fantastic to work with. The owner, Andy, has been in the business for decades and decades, and his daughter, Becca, I believe still works there. They're just a really nice family, and they built this tremendous business down in San Diego. They do sailing lessons, everything in American Sailing Association, from 101 to up to 104. Teach day lessons. They also rent sailboats, anything from 22-foot up to a 54-foot Jeanneau, and also rent some rather large power boats and party boats that you could have a wedding on and that kind of things. Kayaks, I mean, you name it, those guys got it. Seaforth Boat Rentals, they also have locations all over the place. A couple in Mission Bay and a few scattered around San Diego. So just once again, really nice family and a great local business. I'd highly recommend giving them a call. Hey folks, thanks so much for listening. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed my video on San Diego. I might do a couple more specific San Diego videos on a couple of more areas and a little more about fishing in the area. And stay tuned also for a video coming up on Sydney and sailing in Sydney, Australia. Fair winds and following seas all.